Joy, and welcome to my studio. Today we're going to do a 4th of July centerpiece, and this is just a real simple, inexpensive little project that we want to show you. And I went to the Dollar Tree and I picked up a star candle or candy dish, and then also the candle holder. Now, if you ever have a hard time getting the stickers off, you also can heat them up with a heat gun or embossing tool, and it makes those come off really simple. If not, just use hot water and a wire scrubber, and that'll take that off as well. So we're going to just pull that right on off there. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to clean this with our alcohol. And I take my rubbing alcohol and put it into a spray bottle so I have it whenever I need it. All we're doing is cleaning the glass and kind of getting it prepared. And we're going to be using alcohol inks. And I'm going to use a plate that I don't mind if it gets stained. Get your cheap, inexpensive place. Another great place to get those is a Dollar Tree. And I'm going to be using the Adirondack alcohol inks, which is by Ranger. And there's other alcohol inks that you can use as well. And I have been working with some of the Jacquard, not quite sure how you pronounce that, alcohol inks, and they're thicker than the Ranger ones. So whatever you have, let's go ahead and use those. If you don't have any, you can find them at your scrapbook section. But I'm also going to show you a couple of different things today. We're also going to find the alcohol blending solution, and this is also in the scrapbook section, right where you find the inks. And I'm going to be using the Adirondack. Again, if you have the different brand, and as long as it's a blending and it goes with the alcohol inks, you can use that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blending solution and I'm going to put it into a little mister and just squirt it right in there. And I'm going to show you a couple different ways to use the mister. If you want the color to fan out, you can spray that area with the blending solution first, and then that color is really going to spread out even more so as you're going along. And that is red pepper there. And unfortunately, they haven't put their names on all of them like they used to anymore, so I'm not quite sure of the blue. I'm also going to use a silver. And the silver and the gold and coppers and stuff like that are always thicker because they have particles in them. Now, see how that went more straight than when we used our mister and put it down first. And you also can use a mister afterwards. So I'm going to show you. We have the blue kind of before and after. But just kind of play with it. There is no right or wrong, especially to this one. And what I did is I just took mine and kind of went all the way around with it. You don't need a lot, just barely kind of touch it and it's going to run. You don't want much on the bottom at all. That's kind of important. And you can spray before, you can spray after. And then I'm also going to come up here to where these things are, and I'm going to put some color up the bottom of it as well, so we get that colored. And then I'm going to use my blue now. I love alcohol inks because they're just so fun. You can't mess them up. That's what I always tell you. You can't mess them up. And don't put the blue over the red though, or you will get a black. So we're going to put some blue up there as well. And then we're going to do a little bit of the silver. You could do pearl too, which would be really pretty. instead of the silver if you wanted, because then you'd have the kind of white, or there is a white alcohol ink as well. If you're having problems finding certain colors, go to bluewhale.com. They have the individual colors that you can buy and have a nice choice. bluewhalearts.com. So we're just going to kind of put that all the way around there. And then I'm going to start spritzing it, and then you can put more over it or however you want. But see how that really bled out once I hit that with the spritzer, the blending solution? And it just really kind of takes that color and goes off. And if it's not blending out as much as you want it, then put a little bit more onto it, and there it really takes off. So that's really, really cool. My whole project, not counting the inks, cost me $2. So it was rather inexpensive. And then I kind of, while those were wet a little bit, went back over them just a little bit more to kind of hit those again. And like we said, when it's wet, you're going to see that bleed even that much more. So that's really cool. You get more of a stained glass look than a dripping effect, which I really like. And you might do just the red. I just kind of wanted to do just the red being whiter than my other colors. So that's how I'm going to leave that. And then I'm just going to simply finish it off by using my E6000. And we're going to let this dry all the way, and then once this is completely dry, just put your E6000. And I took it because I could see the middle of this and just set it right on there. And then you have your candy dish or your centerpiece. Don't wash it, you would wipe it out. And remember, alcohol inks is flammable, so you want to be really careful. If you decided you wanted to set a candle or anything there, I would use a flameless candle, so just think about that. But that's a lot of fun, and I leave it like that. Another thing that's really great for the blender is if you drop some of it on your table or your work part, just take your blender and drop it onto your alcohol inks, let it absorb that color up, and then wipe it off. That's another thing that I've really found really, really useful. But that is our fun little 4th of July centerpiece. You also could add some little garland to that and make it a little bit fancier or whatever you wanted to do. But just take that and build on it. You know me, we always like to encourage you to do other things. You could do different shapes, all kinds of fun vases. Vases like this would be really pretty with flowers on them as well. Come on over to my website at miriamjoy.com. There's a YouTube link. It takes you over to the site. In the search, type up 4th of July's for Miriam Joy, and you'll get a whole bunch more of our videos that we did for the 4th of July. Thank you. God bless.